He died in 2001.
That's my very, very first memory, is just lying, looking up at trees, very, very little. And now it's full of buds at the top. So we've got to, or when we're all together.
For many years, Dame Judi Dench has been one of the most loved actresses in the world. Millions of people have admired her talent, strength, and unforgettable performances. But things do not seem as easy as they once were. Behind her smile, Judi has been facing challenges that have slowly changed her daily life. Even through these difficult times, she continues to show courage and determination. But how serious are these struggles, and what is really happening? Join us in this video as we reveal the details. Things aren't looking good for Judi Dench. Judi Dench did not grow up knowing she would one day become one of the most respected actresses in the world. Allegedly, the dream first came through someone very close to her. Her older brother, Judi Dench, wanted to become an actor more than anything else. He went to drama school and worked hard to learn the craft. Watching him changed something inside young Judi. She became interested in acting too. What started as simple curiosity slowly became a dream. She decided to give acting a chance. Looking back many years later, she said she never regretted that decision. She believed she had been very lucky to spend her life doing work she truly loved. That one decision would change everything. It would begin a journey that lasted for more than 60 years and would make her one of the most loved actresses in British history. Judi made her professional acting debut in 1957. At the time, nobody could have guessed how far she would go. She started on the stage where actors performed live before audiences every day. Live theater is never easy. There are no second chances. Every performance must be done well from beginning to end. A single mistake cannot be erased. This was where Judi learned discipline, confidence, and patience. She spent many years performing plays written by William Shakespeare. These plays are known for their difficult language and deep emotions. Many actors struggle with them. Judi, however, became known for bringing those stories to life in a way that touched audiences. She worked with the famous Royal Shakespeare Company and performed in well-known plays such as Macbeth, Hamlet, and A Midsummer Night's Dream. Critics praised her performances again and again. Many people believed she was one of the greatest Shakespearean actresses of her generation. Her success on stage opened many new doors. As the years passed, she began appearing on television. This introduced her to families across Britain. Viewers enjoyed seeing her in shows like As Time Goes By and A Fine Romance. These programs allowed people to see another side of her talent. She was not only serious and dramatic, she could also be warm, funny, gentle, and full of charm. Her natural way of speaking and acting made audiences feel comfortable. Many people looked forward to seeing her every week on television. Her popularity continued to grow. Then came the role that introduced her to millions of people around the world. In 1995, Judi Dench was chosen to play M in the James Bond film GoldenEye. This was a historic moment because M had always been played by a man before then. Allegedly, some people were unsure whether audiences would accept such a big change. Those doubts quickly disappeared. Judi made the role her own. She played M as a strong, confident, intelligent leader who was never afraid to challenge James Bond. She did not need to shout or show anger all the time. Her calm voice, sharp mind, and commanding presence were enough to earn respect. Audiences loved her performance, and she continued playing M in several Bond films over the next 20 years. Many fans now say it is difficult to imagine the Bond series without her. While James Bond brought her worldwide fame, it was only one part of her long career. She appeared in many other successful films that showed different sides of her acting ability. One of her biggest achievements came when she played Queen Elizabeth I in Shakespeare in Love. Even though her screen time was short, her performance was so powerful that she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. This was one of the highest honors an actor could receive. She also gave memorable performances in films such as Mrs. Brown, Chocolate, and Philomena. Each role showed something different. Sometimes she played a queen, Other times, she played a caring friend, a wise older woman, or someone carrying deep sadness. She had a special gift for making every character feel real. Even after reaching an age when many actors retired, Judi showed no sign of slowing down. She continued taking on new projects because she loved performing. She appeared in films, worked on stage, lent her voice to animated movies, and even surprised younger audiences by taking part in a fun rap performance. She enjoyed trying new things and never allowed herself to be trapped by one type of role. Many people admired her energy and her willingness to keep learning. Year after year, she proved that true talent does not fade with time. Instead, it grows stronger through experience. By this stage of her life, Judi Dench had already become more than an actress. She had become a symbol of excellence, hard work, and dedication. Few performers could match what she had achieved. Her name became respected not only in Britain, but around the world. Yet, just as everything seemed to be going well, a quiet health problem slowly began changing her life in ways she could never have expected. But fame does not protect anyone from life's hardest moments. What happened next in Judi Dench's journey? Stay tuned for more. A difficult battle, a strong spirit, and a legacy that stayed. Just when it seemed that Judi Dench had achieved everything an actor could dream of, life placed a new challenge in her path. Allegedly, in 2012, she revealed that she had been diagnosed with age-related macular degeneration. This is an eye disease that slowly damages a person's central vision. At first, Judi remained positive. She understood that many people were living with the same condition, and she believed she could continue doing the work she loved. She refused to let fear control her life. Instead of giving up, she carried on acting, attending events, and accepting new projects. She believed that as long as she was able to work, she should keep moving forward. But as the years passed, the illness slowly became worse. What had once been a small problem gradually turned into a serious struggle. Reading became difficult. Then it became almost impossible. Scripts that she once read with ease could no longer be seen clearly. Learning lines became much harder. Even simple daily activities started to change. Allegedly, her eyesight became so poor that she could no longer drive. Walking alone also became risky because she could easily bump into objects or lose her balance. She explained that someone now had to stay close to her whenever she went out because she could accidentally walk into something or fall over. For a woman who had spent most of her life being independent, this was a painful adjustment. Still, Judi refused to allow sadness to take over her life. She looked for ways to continue doing what she loved. Since reading scripts was no longer possible, she depended on one of her greatest strengths, her memory. Friends, family members, and people she worked with would read the scripts aloud to her again and again. She listened carefully until every line stayed in her mind. She once explained that if someone told her a line, she could remember it because she had a very strong memory. This amazing ability helped her continue acting much longer than many people thought possible. But even that could not solve every problem. Acting is not only about speaking lines. Actors must also move safely around a film set, find their marks, notice the people around them, and react to what they see. As her eyesight continued to fade, these simple parts of acting became more difficult every day. Allegedly, she later admitted that she could no longer see properly on a film set and could not read scripts anymore. These were heartbreaking words for someone whose life had always been built around performing. Even so, she never said she wanted to retire because she was old. Instead, she made it clear that her health was forcing her to slow down. She had always disliked the idea that people should stop working simply because of their age. She believed age was only a number and that people should continue living full lives for as long as they could. Even though acting became difficult, Judi did not disappear from public life. She simply found new ways to stay connected with people. She spent time promoting her book about William Shakespeare and shared stories from her many years in the theater. She appeared at book events, interviews, and public conversations where she spoke openly about her life and career. These events allowed people to hear her wisdom without requiring her to memorize long scripts or perform difficult scenes. Audiences continued to enjoy listening to her because of her honesty, kindness, and sense of humor. Outside her public appearances, Judi found peace in nature. She has often spoken about her deep love for trees. Allegedly, she created a special memorial forest where trees were planted in memory of friends and family members who had passed away. For her, every tree represented love, memories, and hope. She believed that planting a tree allowed the memory of a loved one to continue growing year after year. It became a quiet place where she could reflect and remember those she had lost. Even while dealing with her own health problems, she continued encouraging other people. She often told those facing difficult times to talk to someone they trusted. She believed that good friends could help people carry heavy burdens. She also spoke about the importance of faith and hope during life's hardest moments. Her words inspired many people who were struggling with illness, old age, or uncertainty about the future. By speaking openly about her vision loss, she also helped raise awareness of macular degeneration. Many people living with the same condition found comfort in seeing someone as famous as Judi speak honestly about its challenges. She showed that disability should never be something to hide. Instead, it should be understood with kindness and compassion. Today, many people believe Judi Dench's greatest achievement is not only the awards she won or the famous characters she played. It is also the courage she has shown during one of the hardest chapters of her life. Allegedly, although her acting career may now be coming to an end, her influence will never disappear. Her performances will continue to entertain future generations. Her honesty will continue to inspire people facing their own struggles. Her strength will remind others that even when life changes in painful ways, dignity, hope, and determination can remain. Long after the cameras stop rolling, Judi Dench's remarkable story will continue to live on in the hearts of millions around the world. So, what story gave Judi Dench the strength to face life's greatest challenges? Let's delve deeper. A love story built on trust, laughter, and lasting devotion. Judi Dench's career brought her worldwide recognition, countless awards, and the admiration of millions. However, behind the success that audiences saw on stage and on screen was a personal story that was just as remarkable. According to the available accounts, one of the greatest blessings in Judi Dench's life was her long and loving marriage to fellow actor Michael Williams. Their relationship became an example of loyalty, friendship, and lasting commitment in an industry where long marriages are often rare. Allegedly, Judi Dench first met Michael Williams during the 60s.
This is Mike.
Hello.
Hello.
While both were working with the Royal Shakespeare Company. At the beginning, they were simply colleagues who shared a passion for acting. As they spent more time together during rehearsals and performances, their friendship slowly developed into something much deeper. Their growing affection reportedly became even stronger while they performed as lovers in the stage production London Assurance. Working closely together allowed them to discover qualities in each other that went far beyond their professional talents. Reports suggest that Michael was deeply attracted to Judi, not because of fame or physical beauty, but because of her sincerity, kindness, and quiet confidence. Those who knew them believed Michael admired the warmth that Judi carried with her both on and off the stage. Their relationship appeared to grow naturally, built on trust and genuine respect, rather than excitement alone. One of the most memorable moments in their relationship allegedly happened during a theater tour in Australia. After completing a performance in Sydney, the couple reportedly took a peaceful walk along the beach. During that walk, Michael asked Judi to marry him. Although she cared deeply for him, Judi did not immediately accept his proposal. Instead, she jokingly asked him to propose again on a rainy evening back in Britain. According to the story, Michael remembered her request. About a year later, during a rainy night in London, he asked her once more, and this time Judi happily accepted. The couple married on February 5, 1971, at St. Mary's Church in Hampstead, London. Their wedding marked the beginning of a marriage that would last for more than 30 years. According to reports, their relationship was strengthened not only by love, but also by shared values. Michael was a devoted Roman Catholic, while Judi followed the Quaker faith. Although their religious backgrounds were different, they reportedly respected each other's beliefs and allowed faith to become a source of strength throughout their marriage. Their marriage was built on simple acts of love that continued year after year. One of the most touching traditions Michael created was sending Judi a single red rose every Friday. At first, she reportedly believed it was simply a romantic gesture that would last only a short time. Instead, Michael continued the tradition faithfully for decades. Whether Judi was at home or traveling for work, he always made sure a red rose reached her. Over the years, this simple gift became a symbol of their lasting devotion and unwavering affection. Judi and Michael welcomed one daughter, Finty Williams, who eventually followed both of her parents into the acting profession. Despite their demanding careers, the family reportedly worked hard to protect their private life and spend meaningful time together. Judi often spoke warmly about the importance of family, describing laughter as one of the strongest foundations of their marriage. According to those close to the family, Michael possessed a wonderful sense of humor. Judi often recalled that whenever Michael laughed, tears would roll down his face. These joyful moments remained among her happiest memories and continued to comfort her long after his passing. Their ability to laugh together helped them overcome many of life's pressures and challenges. The couple also had the opportunity to work together professionally. They appeared side by side in the television comedy A Fine Romance, where audiences reportedly admired the natural chemistry between them. Viewers believed their performances felt authentic because the affection displayed on screen reflected the genuine love they shared in real life. Their partnership demonstrated that a successful marriage could also become a successful professional collaboration. As the years passed, Judi also embraced the role of grandmother after the birth of her grandson, Sam Williams. Reports suggest she treasured quiet family moments more than public recognition. Simple afternoons spent gardening, talking with family members, and watching her grandson play became some of the happiest experiences of her later life. These peaceful moments reminded her that while fame could bring admiration, true happiness often came from the people waiting at home. What happened when tragedy struck Judi Dench's happiest years? Keep watching for more. Heartbreak, healing, and the strength to keep moving forward. After more than 30 years of marriage, Judi Dench's life changed forever in 2001 when her husband, Michael Williams, passed away from lung cancer. According to available accounts, his illness was linked to a smoking habit he had developed during his younger years. He was 65 years old at the time of his death. For Judi, losing Michael was far more than saying goodbye to a husband. It meant losing the person who had stood beside her through decades of success, disappointment, laughter, and everyday life. Those close to her believed that his death left a deep emotional wound that never completely healed. Reports suggest that Michael's final days were especially difficult for Judi because she was working in New York while his health rapidly declined in England. She reportedly tried everything possible to return home as quickly as she could. However, circumstances allegedly worked against her when 2 scheduled Concorde flights were canceled. The repeated delays left her feeling helpless as she worried about whether she would reach her husband before it was too late. Fortunately, Judi eventually made it back to England in time to spend Michael's final days by his side. According to accounts, she later described those precious moments as peaceful, despite the sadness surrounding them. She was able to sit beside him, hold his hand, and tell him how much she loved him one last time. Those final conversations became memories she would carry with her for the rest of her life. The night before Michael passed away reportedly brought one final moment of happiness. He received the knighthood of St. Gregory from the Pope, an honor that held great meaning because of his strong Roman Catholic faith. According to reports, Michael described receiving the award as one of the greatest days of his life. Only a few hours later, he peacefully passed away at their London home, leaving Judi and their daughter, Finty Williams, to face an unimaginable loss. Even many years after his death, Judi reportedly found it extremely difficult to speak publicly about Michael. She admitted that discussing his passing often brought overwhelming emotion. According to available accounts, she once explained that his death remained a wound that had never fully healed. Returning to the family home, where they had shared so many happy memories, often caused her to break down in tears because every room reminded her of the life they had built together. Although Michael was no longer physically present, Judi reportedly felt that his presence had never completely disappeared. She shared stories of small moments that brought her comfort, including one occasion when she believed a bathroom curtain moved, as though Michael were somehow responding while she spoke aloud. Whether these experiences were simply comforting memories or something more personal, they helped her feel that their love continued beyond death. Rather than allowing grief to completely overwhelm her, Judi made an important decision. According to reports, she returned to work almost immediately after Michael's funeral. She began filming the shipping news just one day after laying her husband to rest. Soon afterwards, she also worked on Iris. Judi later explained that she did not return because she wanted to stay busy for career reasons. Instead, she believed work became the only way to prevent herself from falling apart emotionally. Acting gave her purpose during the darkest period of her life and helped her slowly move forward one day at a time. Even with a demanding work schedule, Judi admitted that nothing could truly replace Michael. The emptiness left by his absence remained part of her daily life. However, she chose to focus on gratitude instead of regret. She remained thankful for the many happy years they had shared together and believed those memories gave her strength whenever life became difficult. Another personal sadness Judi reportedly carried involved her family. She later admitted that one of her greatest regrets was never having more children. After the birth of her daughter, Finty Williams, in 1972, she and Michael allegedly hoped to expand their family. They even considered adoption, but despite their efforts, it never happened. Although this disappointment stayed with her, Judi found great comfort in her close relationship with Finty and later with her grandson, Sam Williams. They became an important source of joy during the later years of her life. Nearly 10 years after Michael's death, Judi unexpectedly found companionship once again. According to available accounts, she met conservationist David Mills in 2010 after he invited her to open a new red squirrel enclosure at the British Wildlife Centre. Their shared love of nature reportedly helped them form a close friendship that gradually developed into a relationship. David brought happiness and companionship into Judi's life during a period when she never expected to find love again. Even so, Judi remained honest about the place Michael continued to hold in her heart. She openly stated that she had no intention of marrying again because she still felt deeply connected to her late husband. According to reports, she believed Michael remained part of her life in spirit and memory. While she appreciated David's companionship, she never viewed the relationship as a replacement for the love she had shared with Michael. Judi Dench's journey through loss demonstrates remarkable emotional strength. Although grief never completely disappeared, she refused to allow sorrow to define the rest of her life. So, after years of grief, could Judi Dench ever love again? Let's take a closer look. Moving forward without forgetting the past. Almost 10 years after losing her husband, Michael Williams, Judi Dench found something she never thought she would experience again. After Michael's death, she believed that love and romance were over for her.
Williams died last year, and since then, Dench has taken solace in her work.
She accepted that the rest of her life would be spent focusing on her family, her work, and the precious memories she shared with the man she loved for more than 30 years. She never expected another person to enter her heart. Then, in 2010, life surprised her in a way she could never have imagined. Judi met David Mills, a man who had once worked as a dairy farmer before dedicating his life to protecting wildlife. Their first meeting happened because of their shared love for nature and animals. David invited Judi to visit his wildlife center and help open a new home for red squirrels. What started as a simple meeting slowly became a close friendship. As they spent more time together, they discovered they had many things in common. They enjoyed each other's company, shared many conversations, and found comfort in spending quiet time together. Their relationship did not begin with great excitement or dramatic romance. Instead, it grew slowly, one step at a time. Judi often spoke honestly about their relationship. She explained that she did not like calling David her boyfriend or her partner. To her, those words did not feel right. She believed they sounded strange and did not truly describe what they meant to each other. Instead, she simply called him a very good friend. Even though she used simple words, it was clear that David had become a very important person in her life. Their relationship was built on friendship, trust, respect, and kindness instead of labels. One thing that brought them especially close was their shared sense of humor. Judi believed that laughter was one of the most important parts of any relationship. She often said that a good sense of humor was one of the most attractive qualities a person could have. The two enjoyed simple moments together, like going for walks, spending time with animals, swimming on warm evenings, or sharing a quiet glass of champagne. These ordinary moments gave Judi great happiness. She showed that true love is not always about expensive gifts or grand surprises. Sometimes it is simply about enjoying another person's company and making each other smile. Although their relationship became strong, Judi and David never felt they needed to get married. They talked about it for a short time, but decided it was not necessary. They believed a marriage certificate would not make their relationship stronger. They already cared deeply for each other, and that was enough. They also chose not to live in the same house. Judi continued living with her daughter, Finty Williams, and her grandson, Sam Williams, while David stayed in his own home nearby. They both valued their independence and respected each other's personal lives. But was Judi Dench's career really as peaceful as it seemed? Let's learn more. When professional relationships turned cold. Judi Dench's calm public image did not always reflect what happened behind the scenes during her long career. She allegedly had difficult experiences with a few well-known people in the film and theater industry. An alleged report says these were not loud public fights or scandals. Instead, they were quiet moments that allegedly changed how Judi felt about working with those people. The narrator suggests that Judi believed respect was very important. Whenever she felt someone did not respect her, she allegedly chose to walk away instead of creating arguments. One person is Harvey Weinstein. During an awards campaign, he tried to control how Judi was presented to the public. It claims Judi believed the campaign focused too much on her age instead of her talent. When she questioned the plan, Weinstein allegedly told her to leave the thinking to his team. The video says Judi calmly replied that she had spent her whole career thinking for herself before ending the meeting. It further alleges she later kept her distance from him and avoided working closely with him whenever possible. Another actor is Daniel Day-Lewis. He stayed deeply in character while working and rarely spoke to other actors between scenes. Judi tried to speak with him about one of their scenes, but he did not respond. It claims this made her feel ignored because she believed actors should still treat each other with kindness while working. Although she continued to admire his talent, it alleges she chose not to work with him again. Judi also had an uncomfortable experience with Kenneth Branagh during rehearsals for one of his Shakespeare productions. Branagh publicly questioned her ideas about a scene in front of other cast members. Judi was not upset because they disagreed. Instead, she allegedly felt disappointed that the discussion happened publicly. It claims their relationship became distant after that. Another person is Maggie Smith. The two actresses had once shared a close friendship, but a disagreement during rehearsals changed everything. Maggie allegedly made a sharp comment after Judi asked a question about a scene. This hurt Judi deeply, and although they remained polite in public, they were never as close again. Finally, Judi also had a difficult experience with Steve Coogan. He made a joke after Judi asked a serious question during rehearsals. Judi believed the joke showed a lack of respect for her work. It alleges she became quieter during the rest of the project and later chose to keep her distance from him. Throughout these stories, Judi Dench is someone who allegedly valued respect, professionalism, and dignity above everything else. Whenever she believed those values had been lost, she quietly moved on instead of allowing the disagreement to grow into a public dispute. What do you think about the legacy of Judi Dench? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for joining us as we explored the remarkable life of Dame Judi Dench. If you enjoyed learning more about one of Britain's greatest actresses, please like and subscribe. Click on the next video to discover another fascinating story. See you there.